God damn it. There. My thing is being nice and weird. So I do wonder how long this has been without audio. Hope not too long. I pray not too long. So I'm going to click this, hope things click there. So yeah, it looks like audio is now fixed. I updated my computer recently and that just kind of screws things sometimes. But hopefully I've fixed all the audio channels. Right, this day we have fensad versus LTK Live and Let Die in B West. Somehow we've ended up back in B West. It was not my intention, but sure as hell where we are. You can hear the game sounds background, that's okay. It was more almost just a test as opposed to actually getting into it. But we are going to get into it. It is Alterac Pass. I do like... I kind of like Alterac. Sometimes I go like, okay, yeah, I'm playing it again. I get it. But sometimes like, you know what, this is fun. I do like being on Alterac every now and again. Also believe this is cast 11 out of 105, not 10. So let me update that in a few moments. I'm just going to check one thing very quickly. But as we can see here, we do have the teams fensad, LTK, Live and Let Die. I do not know who first banned or who first picked because, well, I don't really go into that because I don't like spoiling myself for series. It gets a little bit sad if I do so because I do like being surprised as the next person is who is watching for the first time. Other than that, we do see fensad banned out Braxis, Holdout, Cowards, and Cursed Hollow, while LTK Live and Let Die banned out Dragonshire and Infernal Shrines. Neither of these teams are liking their offlaners, are they? I don't trust their offlaners. Both like offlaner, most offlane dependent maps have been banned out, which poor Ruglord and Little God just sounds like teams don't believe him. No, I'm just joking. They are just maps that are less popular within the not series, season, within NGS in general. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I am going to jump on into the game. We'll get things rolling, shall we? Right, on the left-hand side of fensad, we do have Charlemagne on the Zul'jin, Ruglord Hogger, Psycho Anubrak, Grismore on the Li Ming, and Robot Wizard is on the Anduin. On the other side, we do have the cheese ready early on. Fangs is on Sylvanas. Eric Elric on the Tychus. Shovel on the Varian. Irid on the Stukov. And Lil God on the Darker. Yeah. My channels weren't set up properly before Raka. So it turns out there's a little bit where I was just like live without realizing that there's no audio coming through. That's a little bit awkward, but I have fixed things at least. Yeah, so if you weren't hearing music while I was on my starting now screen, that is why. I didn't even think of checking that because I didn't think one update would ruin all my audio channels at once. So that was a fun thing to find out. So we do have everyone clashing. There is a little bit of a weird move around of things because we did have people top. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. I'll just find out in end post what's happening. Well, I'll just like edit, cry a little. I never claimed to be good at the technology thing. I just claimed to be alright at talking at best. But to look at what's happening, we do see that there is Dahaka burrowing to the exact same bush they were just in. We also see Zul'jin has that auto attack quest. So one, Dahaka actually went to the regeneration at level 1 as well. Not often you do see, I say not often see this regeneration, but we see it more and more recently. And there's going to be heavy siege coming up on him, all while Hogger is doing that spin on the left camp. And right camp also going to be done by Fangs and Urid. So both camps going to be coming out relatively close to each other, but neither will get a major advantage. And this, I'm used to seeing Sylvanas cheese, so it's very interesting seeing it going the other way around, where people are just pushing into Sylvanas. Sylvanas like, wait a minute, that's not how this is meant to work at all. You can see now that there is that heavy rotate bottom to deal with the pressure that the side of fensad were providing. And Little God all while trying to play it as safe as possible. Psycho actually a little bit too aggressive, however, we do see that it is the Haka taking a lot of damage, but will get out. Maybe if Psycho had hit the first stun as well, that'd be a very dead Space Yoshi, but unfortunately for them, they did not. Fang's using the black arrows to try to see if they can stall the camps. We see camps have now reached the walls, and that's going to be doing a decent amount. Urid is going that Stukov slot build. I wonder if they're going to go that hyper carry Stukov build we saw last week. That was a fun one to watch, but we do see it as taunt variant, so we are going to get the general blow up. So Tychus makes sense here. Tychus very good into this. And Li Ming looking like they're going a weird, no, maybe not a weird, but it looks like they're going that hybrid between Orb and Calamity. Ruglord and Charlemagne backing out, because either of them will actually die to this, and we can get a strong 4-man rotate between lanes, between LTK, Live and Let Die. The main thing when it comes to that, though, is you're very telegraphed with where you're wanting to go and what you're wanting to do. So as long as fensad know to back out at any given point, you're in usually a pretty good spot. Oh, Tychus is alone. Psycho's considering going on top, but they're going to get out the Beetles and just get the channel by themselves. The good old Anubrak special. Varian tries to interrupt, but no, the interrupt will not quite find it. And Psycho, I do like that you can just put out a couple of Beetles and be fine. And he backs out. I don't know if that was necessary. And we can see Shovel will not be allowed to get that. Charlemagne going to start and get some more stacks. Keep in mind, they're only at 1 total stack currently, because they've been a very passive start to the game. Taunt from Variant onto Anubrak. Actually, you're right. Anubrak is one of those heroes who need their buttons. And if you're going to taunt that, that's no buttons for the Anubrak. All while the seed's coming up mid. Slam going into a Beetle, actually. Nice Beetle by Psycho. Not much you can do about that. All while we do see now that Psycho is on that objective. Will Varian be able to stop him? No, he won't, as the Beetles, once again, block him from dying. And Shovel's gone very aggressive compared to the rest of the team. Urid going to silence under them. That is a dodge onto the tongue. However, they have a lot more damage incoming. Psycho is ultimately safe. However, Grismore went very aggressive and may go down for it. Blinks out of the way, but meanwhile we do see Anubrak went down bottom, chased down by the Tychus. Robot Wizard flipping around, making sure they're going to live a little bit longer, but we'll still be in trouble. Taunt onto Charlemagne. Charlemagne, however, going to be fine, as the rest of the team is focusing the poor boy King Anduin. And now that's going to be a objective channeled by LTK, Live and Let Die. And this is not an easy one for fensad to push into. Ruglord just backing on up. Stukov actually stepped up quite high. Ruglord maybe could have waited to hit that Q. If Psycho hit the stun, that may have been a very dead Stukov, and that means a little less damage on the Psycho, but Psycho is going to be taking a lot here, does back out. Grismore and Charlemagne getting what poke they can off, and we can see a decent slow out onto Grismore. And yeah, we're going that classic stance build, just with a little bit of burst of vigorous reuptake. I do like it. I do actually like it a lot. It is something we've been seeing more recently, but I miss the Stukov from last week. Oh, Psycho getting a nice stun. We do see the slow coming out. Doesn't quite get the silence on underneath it because of that burrow. So the bug is going to be fine. And camp has been done once again by Hoggis. And now we're starting to see a little bit of advantage come out, where we get a little bit extra soak, a little bit extra camp pressure. And fensad are just trying to find a few ways to see if they can cut ahead. Psycho once again trying to do the channel by themselves. And Eric Elric very alone compared to the rest of the team, but they will ultimately be fine. Less fine, however, is going to be Grismore. Gets tongued by Little God, and that will be them going down because Charlemagne was saved. Nor why Charlemagne is trying to get their stacks. They're at 9 now. They're not even halfway yet. They've got more W stacks than they have auto attack stacks, which is impressive to say the least, especially this early on. But we see Robot Wizard gets hit with the charge. However, Charlemagne is the one who's going to get hit with the taunt. And that will be a dead Zul'jin. So one damage out, the other damage back. And I was readjusting on my seat. So that's why my camera work was shoddy there. We see Psycho getting a little burrow action out on here. And now we can see Eric, Elric, and Fang's doing the best turn. But the 4-man of fensad are here. You see Taunt coming out to Hogger. Hogger's not the easiest to kill, but they still definitely take a lot of damage. Shovel's actually out of resources. Tongue didn't quite find it, and we can see now the interrupts coming through. And that is Zul'jin back now. Urid actually lost the game of chicken. They backed out before the objective channeled. And now we have a full 5v5. Actually, LTK, Live and Let Die are closer to 10, so we'll see those pop through shortly. And speaking of people getting popped, we do see an Uberak popping, and that will be them going down as 10s are through. We see Mind Control Sylvanas, as we said, Taunt is already picked up Varian. Mind Control barely misses Robot Wizard, that's unfortunate for them. We also see Flailing Swipe Stukov. We see Ruglord going for the back cap, and they will get it in time. They barely get it in time. 0 seconds is 0.3 seconds. Not much in that at all. And well done, fensad, for barely stealing it away from LTK. Live and Let Die. Other thing to note is Commandeer Odin and the Space Yoshi. Dahaka is still thinking about it, but 10s are now through for the side of fensad. We do see Shockwave Hogger, Taz, Dingo. Boo. Boo, where's the guillotine? I want to see Guillotine Zul'jin so bad in NGS. I know it's not good, but it's so fun. It's so fun just to hit, and satisfying just to hit that snipe. Also, Hogger's dead. Somewhere around here. But yeah, Hogger's dead. But we see a heavy push top coming out either way. Also, keep in mind, adaptation picked up by Dahaka. Other things to note is we have Wave Force Leeming, the Cocoon. You've been looking for this match in particular, hopefully. Cocoon and Ubrak, as well as the Light Bomb on the Anduin. So, pretty good heroics, both sides of things. And we see that mid is still going, and it will be slowly melted down. But looks like fensad aren't quite wanting to let this building live, as we can see they're pushing in. And a 4 out of 5 members for both teams are here. Hogger, however, will be here soon. Mind Control coming out onto Charlemagne. Charlemagne getting hit by the charge. We see Light Bomb coming out. Nice double stun. Oh, while Sylvanas went down underneath. That is a nice stun onto Shovel. Shovel for one in immediate danger. We see it taken down. That is a stun onto Robot Wizard. Robot Wizard having to back out upwards positions. All the while they're taking shots. They took a little bit too long to get out, but ultimately they're fine. But thank you, Voriel. Voriel? Voriel. I don't know. I well, you see Robot Wizard being ran out by Little God, but Little God doesn't have tongue up by the looks of it, so they do get back out safely. Meanwhile, Grismore is resetting. And you can see that throughout their fight, they managed to get, what, 1-2 kills and a decent amount of a building, though not quite as much as they wanted by the looks of things. And if you have both teams at this point, maybe you're looking at your respective bosses, and saying that Hogger is spinning off a camp, does take it. Grismore is considering helping out clear mid, or while we do see that Tychus, keeping an eye on the enemy team, as LTK Live and Let Die are going to look to push bottom. We do see Commandeer Odin popped, and actually, if you're LTK, if you're fensad, you go, cool, that's fine, I'm out, peace, homie. And yeah, it looks like they were out. Keep in mind that Tychus can't mount during this, so he has to slowly walk his way up in that big Commandeer Odin. He does get there a little bit later. It's a little bit more damage done. 13 through for the side of fensad. And, oh, we see the ensnaring nets. I think that's what it's called. It's just called ensnare, never mind. On the Zul'jin. Interesting. So we're going to get like a little bit of a focus blow up happening now, where there can be that follow up CC from the... What's his name? From the Anubrak. Nice route by Robot Wizard. We see ults traded out, all while we see Leeming die top. And Robot Wizard's actually chasing down the Sylvanas. Sylvanas forced to use Haunting Wave to run away from Anduin. And Anduin takes her out. 1v1ing a healer is not always easy, especially if you're quite squishy. So that is a good kill by Anduin. Not quite what maybe Sylvanas was watching, and maybe not quite what they were hoping I'd be watching this time. Meanwhile, Psycho is just running it down mid. Urid is chasing after them. They're not a fan of this bug action happening here. So Beetle's running out. Shovel and Eric Elric is also coming down, but Psycho burrows over wall. We do see the ensnare coming out onto Shovel, and that's a Beetle out safely. All the while, this building still holding on, but nearly down now. Right. What are we going to get next? We do see teams rotating up. Lil God is posturing around it as well. But no, both teams going to play relatively safe, actually. They're not quite wanting to fully commit to things. In saying that, it looks like we're going to get the objective pushed on, because Psycho's probably going to walk up, drop a couple of beetles, and channel again. No, they only dropped one. But it doesn't matter. Grismore does have a channel. And Urid barely falling short with their own silence puddle. But it looks like fensad not quite wanting to risk things. They are closer to... Technically, yes, they are closer to 20s. Good work, Climb. They are closer to 16s, is what I was meant to say. Because once they can get those 16s, very much they can look at pushing back. I think Sulchin found someone as the ensnare hits Little God. But ensnare, I do like ensnare more and more. It's a good vision tool if you don't hit anything. It's a 10-second cooldown. I can check this bush. And if it does hit something, you've actually got someone stuck in a reasonably timed route. 1.5 seconds is not... It's not really anything to sneeze at. That is close to what Anduin route's for. It's close to a lot of stuns. Psycho backs out. We do see Eric Elric did activate their minigun. But now they're trying to find a way to step on in. Speaking of stepping on in, we see the Cocoon coming out. But Psycho taking a lot of damage by control onto Robot Wizard. Robot Wizard dropping Light Bomb. We do see that's 1-2 kill. 3 kills now for the side of fensad. LTK live and let die forced out. And actually Charlemagne had to drop the Taz Dingo there to make sure they don't go out and down. Oh, Hogger barely found that wall stun, and Psycho was able to follow up, and that is a bunch of kills. Only Stukov left, and actually, if you are fensad, maybe you boss here, maybe top boss? Push? Top boss? Push? Top boss? Top boss! Hey, let's go. Got there in the end. I wish I did not burn my tongue eating dinner. It is so uncomfortable talking with a burnt tongue. I hope everyone in chat's doing well tonight. It felt like it's been a very long week. I'm already at my Friday. I am gone this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm out traveling to catch up with a friend and see the wedding, so it should be a fun time. Or what we do see now, mid, there is going to be the camp being done, and that will be that objective taken, the cavalry released. And we see Psycho burrows in. Nice light bomb follow-up as well. However, Mind Control is there to receive him. And while they took for camp, this may still be a rough spot for LTK live and let die. But no, only the Nubrak goes down. But we do see that is now slowly the cleanup coming through as Grismore is getting those resets. We have the third reset coming in there. Tongue onto Hogger. Hogger doesn't have any way out. Robot Wizard not quite in position to pull them. And that will be a 2 for 3 in the favor of fensad. However, LTK live and let die have 2 pretty good ones left on the field, being Little God, who can actually tank pretty well. Oh, Tongue barely finding Anduin. I believe it's the extended Tongue range. Yes, it was at level 16. We do now see Commandeer Odin also drop, but it won't quite be enough to save this building. Boss plus Cavalry? Yike, that's not easy to deal with, but we can now see the swing around. And Little God realizing they're not in as comfortable a place as they thought they were. We see now the chase is on. Are they going to keep going aggressive? Oh, Robot Wizard threw up the route thinking that... You went from here to here! Literally just around the corner. But no, as unfortunate, Anduin threw out the route predicting where Nubrak could go. Didn't expect Nubrak just to burrow out of danger. Or brush talk out of danger, I guess I should say. 19-17, so we are getting pretty close now for fensad to those 20s. They may want to start boss, but there also may be expectation of LTK live and let die going. They may go boss. See, now they are going to check it. Psycho and Robot Wizard very much just holding vision on it, while all of the team is just playing safe. Psycho has found them. Disrupts 2 of them mounting, but we see Shovel wanting, Shovel getting. We see the route coming out. However, that's in a follow-up route from Stugov, and Nubrak does get pulled out. Then burrows all the way top, probably just an instinctive burrow queued up from when they got silenced. Oh, our Hogger's now pushing mid, going to draw the enemy up to them. See that there is that rotate. But now you're like, okay, cool, they're here. Let's just do this. You can do it. You could do it if you're onto it immediately. Looks like Robot Wizard and Grismore have other plans in mind. And yet they are going to be starting boss. So while the team of LTK live and let die are just caring for lanes, making sure they're not losing too much. fensad are in a relatively strong position. I know they did very well last season, but this season they're also looking to do just as well. And who is messaging me and why? Never mind, that is one of a few people that get an exception for messaging me. So, we are now going to have a heavy push coming out bottom. Mind Control barely finding Zul'jin, but the immediate pull out on Charlemagne means they're going to get to live, because we do now see the Storm talents coming through and double pull for Robot Wizard at 16. So, we do have a Shockwave upgrade, which is apparently called Power Spike. I didn't know that, but it is. Oh, wow, that's actually a good 20. Other things to note is we do have that Amani Resilience on the Zul'jin. Yeah, Anduin's doing really well this game. Tail Rush is Elements Leeming, so it can very much blow people up. Rewind on Nubrak, which I love Rewind on Nubrak. And the Censure on Anduin, which adding a stun to an already pretty good route is very good. Sorry about that. I realized I should have muted myself before I started drinking. I don't know how I feel about this upgrade, especially if you don't have the piercing route. You can still do very well, do not get me wrong. Just about piercing route, sometimes it feels lacking compared to the Inner Light. You can pick up level 20, the upgrade to Light Bomb. And Psycho gets hit with a grenade. That's rude, Tychus. I guess it's just like a water balloon in that skin, so it's not quite as bad. But still rude. Like, imagine if someone walked up to you, just going about your day, chilling, vibing, having a good time. Someone walks up to you and just yeets a water balloon at you. What do you do? But we do see that is picked up that camp, and we do now see rotations coming up. They do know what's happening. They have spotted it, but Grismore and Robert Wizard barely not wanting cushion. That is for one person you don't want hit by the Light Bomb. Never mind, Anduin found the kill from Light Bomb. I was going to say Mind Control, but Light Bomb found its kill. You can see camp now up. They're going to hit this building first. And then by the time the cavalry get here, that may be a dead building, but there may also be a core that is looking to be in a lot of danger, as no armor plates. Drekthar and Vandar respectively get very squishy, and we can see that they've already lost a quarter of their health, and the camps are only just getting here now. The first cavalry rider has arrived. We can see that is a Stukov kill. I'm going to close this because we see that core quickly dropping actually, and that will be the first game of series. Going over to the side of fensad. Well played, both teams. Let me swap it over to my game summary screen. Holger did excellent on the siege there. There was a split between Tychus and Dark. Actually, a lot of people very close in terms of siege. Zul'jin, Leeming, Tychus, Dahaka, and Sylvanas all sitting around mid to high 90k. Just Holger did pull a fair amount ahead there by an extra 40k, but they were always off, keeping the pressure on, keeping the soak going. They also, we can see that is, I should have said siege, because soak we can then see that is reflected. Healing, Stukov did more healing. They did have a lot more to do by the feels of things, because there just was that constant pressure coming in between both Grismore and Charlemagne, and Zul'jin and Herd did both, and Leeming did both in the 50k. It's almost 60k for Zul'jin, while there's only one person in that 50k, and Sylvanas a little further behind. In terms of talents, anything that stands out to me, Censure, as I said, I think it's interesting about the double route for Anduin, but it worked out. It is something that I go, yeah, I could talk about it, but if it works, it works. I'm not really too picky. Interesting to see the Q talent on Tychus at level 13 without seeing it at 16. Maybe you see a defensive next time, I don't know, but it was their choice. I'm not a good Tychus, so I can't say much personally. I am a horrible Tychus, so I'm sure they are much more competent at what they're doing than I am. It's alright, let me swap back over here and update the scores before I forget. Also, I guess if someone in these that was playing these games or in the chat and knows what was map pick and who was first pick, you can always say that it's quite handy for me. But it looks like we are going to next to Towers of Doom. I like a Game 2 Towers of Doom almost as much as I like a Game 3 Towers of Doom. Just because it can go either way. You could just be chilling. You're going to be the head the whole time, chilling, going, yeah, nothing can stop us. And then late game comes in and the other team just slaps you silly and you lose. It just is how Towers of Comeback works. Oh my gosh, what the hell is... I'm going to start with their comp, because what the hell is that? What the... That's amazing. Right, I guess you guys will get to see when I load us into the game. So, on the right side of LTK Live and Let Die, we have Lil God on the Samurai. Urid is on the Medivh. Eric Elric is on Anduin. Shovel on the Varian. And Fangs on the Sylvanas. So, still relatively blow-up-y style composition. On the other side, we have... What the hell? Robot Wizard on the Oriole. Charlemagne is on that Zul'jin. Grismore once again on the... Li Ming. Ruglord on that Space Yoshi. Dahaka and Psycho on the big Fire Lizard. Diablo. Did I say Diablo for Dahaka? I don't know. Don't think I did, but here we are anyway. So, middle fight as per. This is really one of the main... I love this about Heroes of the Storm. For some reason, no other like MOBA is like this. But for some reason, this is one we just run at mid. See what happened. Do good fight. And we do now see that is melting. Also, welcome Ektar. Hope you're doing well this evening. First map was a very good showing by fensad. However, this is Towers of Doom, and anything can happen, especially when there's a Medivh and Samurai on the field. God only knows what mischief those two will get up to, and Psycho's been found. Medivh is one of those ones that makes it a lot harder to do what you want to if you are playing tank, because you can't just sit in bush. If Medivh flies with that bush and finds you, your positioning is almost all for naught. You can't really get away with being as cheeky as you want to be. True, Mounts is a very good... Is he really any... I'm trying to think. I don't play League or Dota enough. Smite does not have Mounts. Pokemon Unite has those like launchpad things from what I call. I mean, I've played it in like the first 2 weeks. But we do now see this camp is being melted. Urid is like, yeah, let's look. Oh, there's all 4 there. Don't know about that one. I'm just going to keep my eye on them just to make sure. True. But what if no one shows mid and goes bottom because you have Sylvanas? Oh, there we go. Aggressive in by Psycho as Psycho charges directly onto Varian. Keep in mind, Varian's not a real boy for a while. Dahaka finds tongue onto Fangs. Fangs now in trouble. Does teleport out upwards. And that's the power Medivh. That's true, actually, you're right. I guess though you can fight back, then go to the other lane, but that's not something I really know enough about. Robot Wizard is actually the energy at level 1. Let's actually pull up talents, because I haven't looked at that yet. Also, keep in mind, healer currently not with rest. I've got hiccups. The rest of the team. So we do see Dahaka is enhanced agility at level 1. We see Diablo stacking soul, so I'm going into that W build. Diablo, which does have a pretty decent amount of damage in self-stand. We do see charge on the Shovel. Shovel getting a taunt off. Fangs doing what damage it can. Robot Wizard is here now with the team. Heals. Oh, heals up everyone except Charlemagne, who can heal themselves. The only other quest to note is we do have that level 1's that passive on Zul'jin. Zul'jin always doing the same thing, as well as the piercing root and when they're in a light. Oh, Psycho in danger, but we see that as a tank trade now. And I'd say still that the side of fensad is a little bit scarier. You only really have Fangs for damage. Yeah, sure, Urid can do a lot to protect and prolong the life of people such as Fangs. Also, I like this mount. I've never seen it before, but I do really like it. But Varian will be back slightly earlier than fensad, and that's something fensad needs to be aware of. Fangs wanting to go in on Robot Wizard and Grismore, but we can see Urid drops directly by them, hits an orb for their efforts, and actually doesn't have bubble up anymore. Shovel going in. We do see taunt on to Charlemagne. Robot Wizard does not have the energy to help, but we see Dahaka is down now, and this will still be a 4v4 because Diablo is just getting here now. Nice tongue by Ruglord. I imagine they have a decent amount of essence up. We do see that drop. Urid in danger, but no. Fangs and even more, but they are pulled by Eric Elric, and Dahaka came down just for one little pull. Grismore, I don't think you're able to get that. You're playing channeling a little too aggressively. You realistically want to be on your side of the objective for that very reason. And this realm is the Raven Lords, and the Raven Lords alone, as they do get the channel, and that is 36 to 32 with a very long fought bottom camp objective. Oh, Robot Wizard is in danger, out of position. We can see now Urid and co. just surrounding them, goes down. Charlemagne realizing they can no longer do this camp. Level 7's for roughly the same both times for both teams. And we can now see what talents picked. We do have... Oh, wait, I close that. Calamity, Li Ming, what a surprise. Well, so Samurai's going very much a damage build just with the spell armor at level... Wait. Yeah, spell armor at level 4. So wanting to survive a burst of Li Ming as well as Dahaka, I guess. Dahaka, interesting note, we do not see the W build. It makes it a little bit harder for them to go into the Samurai. But we can still do it pretty well. They just need to be a little bit smarter about things. But we do see now Sappers are pushing against each other. Urid, 32 stacks out of their 40. Urid really at that dangerous point where if you go down now, you're probably going to tilt if you're the Medivh. That's just one of a few factors in life. If you die as Medivh in like your mid to late 30s, which is a really weird sentence, don't take that out of context. In the mid to late 30 stacks, in terms of that, I nearly called it Arcane Convection, because that's what it is. Arcane Rift, you're going to tilt. And I guess the key is, get Urid stacked before they die. And that didn't quite hit its target. Urid is going to have to continue fighting. They're going to be a little bit further off. Warning ping in the bush. You can now see Psycho gets charged by Shovel, gets taunted. Urid considering dropping. Nope, we do see Psycho backing out. The Root not finding them. Objective up in 5 seconds now. So what will happen is the question. We do see Flip. We do see a stun to wall. We do see a protect. We do see the body block coming out. Shovel is stuck in an awkward spot. But ultimately will be fine. Urid getting aggressive. Not wanting to stay on over. Shovel, however, does want to go in. You see Psycho is dropping 36 stacks on the Medivh. 37. They're so close to completing that now. 38. Just a couple more hits and they will have it. Psycho wanting to step in but gives up that for going in. Shovel made an interesting choice. Fangs also, but that is Psycho taking a lot of damage and will go down. All while there's a little scuffle going on between Ruglord and Charlemagne. Will Ruglord get it in time? No, they will not, as Medivh has actually also finished a quest. And that is much harder to deal with now if you are the side of fensad. Grismore having to back out Ruglord as well, but Little God didn't quite finish off Grismore. But unfortunately for Oriel, they were split from the team and weren't afforded the same nicety. So to look at the 20s, not 20s, well, geez, 10s, heroics, I guess I should say, because Varian doesn't get his heroic as 10. We did see that taunt at 4. Otherwise, we have Leyline, Medivh, Bladestorm, Samarosa helping speed up that wave clear. We can see it going on right there. We do also have that Mind Control Sylvanas and Light Bomb on the Anduin. On the other side, we do have Isolation Dahaka, which, yeah, I like Isolation on Dahaka. Also, the Apocalypse Diablo, Leyline May, Tazdingo Zul'jin, and the Crystal Aegis on Oriel. And we're at the point where camps are probably going to be traded out. Urid keeping an eye on things. Do have to be careful if you're fensad not to all stand on there, because Urid's probably going, I could steal it. But no, they're playing smart enough, and it looks like everyone's coming in for an evade. Samurai, however, on the other side of the map. There's the Apoc, there's the Flip, there's Shovel. There we go. There's the, as I say, there's the Leyline Seal. Pull on to Anduin. Anduin take a little bit too much damage, will go down. Samurai considering coming in now. However, a little bit too late. Shovel actually in an awkward position. Robot Wizard staying on them. But we see Shovel gets out of dodge. They dig themselves to safety through that portal. Also, this Samurai's just chilling up here. But this one's like, yeah, I'm going to go. Let ball. Nice push by Diablo. Does get the Medieval wall, however. Bubble lasted long enough where they weren't actually able to die. They didn't quite take enough damage early on and get to live that. Which, ideal if you're Urid. Sure, you're not having to deal with, what's it called? Mark this as red, because what the hell. But, yeah, you don't want to really lose your Medivh either way, but at least with Medivh stacked. Shovel hit. Dodge on the Mind Control. Shovel then hit with a Orb. Charlemagne taking a little bit of a Q as Shovel's there. We do also see Samurais up the top, but that is, in that one moment, Grismore was left alone by the tank and will go down. Psycho abandoned ship, so to speak. That's very unfortunate for the Li Ming. Psycho, Ruglord, and Robot was actually all relatively low, but separated from the rest is the Tazdingoing Zul'jin, and Zul'jin does get, come on, little god, just jump the wall and hit him. Look, this is where Gear Team would be great. Sure, you may have died there, but you also would have probably killed someone. Ton coming out to Shovel. Shovel getting the taunt. Psycho not in position to charge him, but we see Shovel actually Warbringers to safety. I wonder if Warbringer will come back to bite them, because there is some pretty heavy spell damage by the Li Ming. See, I guess you don't need it because you do have Medivh protecting at any given point. So your own protect is less valuable because you have another protect that can be applied instead. Right. Urid is going to be their face taking a little bit of damage, but they have a bubble, so it doesn't matter. It's really going to fall down to Urid has bubble. Oh, well. Right, we do see Psycho is in that top wave there. And Charlemagne is also helping hit it. Lil got a Ruglord now to give it. We do see Ruglord wanting to make sure that Samuro can't get away with more than what they are trying to. Meanwhile, Fangs Shovel and Eric Elric bottom. Fangs Black Arrow Ink. We're getting them held off for a little bit, getting what damage they can out. But that's a little bit of a greed from Fangs. A little bit, even more greed from Shovel. But no, there's a little bit anti-synergy there. We do see the flip before the whip can come out. If there's patience and the whip hit the Varian into the wall, that could have been a different story. That could have been a dev of Varian. But instead we did see Psycho unfortunately flipped the Varian away from the wall just because it wasn't quite as well done as they maybe would have liked. Yep, there's a ley line hit till 4. I was waiting for it. I knew it was going to come. Mind Control comes out, however, doesn't find anyone. Griswold backing. Gets hit with Varian Q, but ultimately will be fine. Meanwhile, Psycho and Robert wasn't clearing the camp up above. While the Sap is below, pushing in. An interesting Sylvanas didn't go, Merc Queen. This is one of the best maps for things such as Merc Queen. Just because you can get a lot of value out of them. Those Sappers, when evolved, let's say, takes a lot of damage. Oh, speaking about taking a lot of damage, Griswold forced back out. Bangs gets it before there can even be pressure on them. And just like the objective starts over, and what was an alright start for fensad has turned to a very good mid game for LTK Live and Let Die. But keep in mind, this is Tales of Doom. Tales of Doom is that comeback map that people know and love-ish. Some people don't love it. I like it a lot, just because I like AFK and going up and down and just living my best life. But not always. But we do see that is a Crystal Aegis coming out. That is a decent amount of damage from Robot Wizard. Shovel goes on to Zul'jin. Zul'jin pops Taz Dingo. Isolation actually found the Sylvanas. Fangs relatively low. Shovel even lower. Will go down to one foul swoop. Then we can see that is a APOC combo onto the Medivh. Medivh actually had the that's the wrong that's the wrong button. Medivh actually had fucking Arcane Explosion. I should not have sworn. But Medivh had Arcane Explosion, which is the damage they take up to a certain point does damage back, which, yeah, up to 590 damage. So they probably actually did that because they were in the middle of the APOC combo. And actually, we can see Oriel nearly died because of that bubble. And now we're just getting a slow siege of bottom building. Oh, never mind. Charlemagne throws an axe. Charlemagne, you can throw more axes. Go, go, go. Mind Control actually finds the Oriel. Oriel just slowly walking towards Fangs. Psycho, however, is the one taking the brunt of the damage. And can they get this just before the objectives come up? That'd be very good if they did. Yes, they do. That is very bad timing if you're LTK Live and Let Die. But fensad must be happy with that. Right, we can see Shovel is dug deep in the bush. Psycho looking up. Grismore as well in the spots ready to go. They must know where Varian is. They must know where the enemy team is. See, Charlemagne is going to be one dive on, but no, not Varian. Psycho very quick to jump on. Fangs goes, accidentally uses the portal, and portal drops right as the light bomb is like activated. So Fangs isn't able to teleport back in to deal with things. But we can see now the chase coming on. There's a little bit of a kill above as 2 go down there. Meanwhile, Shovel and Eric Elric aren't able to go down. Diablo is channeling the objective. Siege camp being picked up by Charlemagne. And now what was a very good spot for LTK Live and Let Die. fensad currently going, you know what, our turn. And they are filling out that Towers of Comeback mentality and are going to be looking at what they can do here. Maybe just go down here. And yeah, we're just going to have Psycho just chill. This is Psycho's... This little bit of land here, do I get to do this? This bit of land here is now Psycho's territory. Psycho is to not leave this... Psycho down here. There in the green box, Psycho. Yep, good. We see the push coming out with the shovel. That's exactly what you want to see if you are fensad. Just Psycho again staying in this general area. Good job. We do have now 3 members of a team of the area. This is the best area to be in if you're fensad currently, but we do see Taunt coming out onto Psycho. Psycho taking a lot of damage for it. Sylvanas is at percent build at 1, and the slows onto Psycho just do a lot. Obviously, we do have that Temporal Flux, so Medieval will have more ley lines as we go along. We are going to get that Windwalk build from LTK, from the Samurai, so that can do a decent amount of damage onto a backliner. But we do see that the backline of fensad have gone a little bit tankier. We do see that Diamond Skin Li Ming. We do see the Taz, Dingo, and Zul'jin. So it is a very interesting thing. Okay, nice banner. We do see the charge on the banner. I'm going to close this as it's not necessary currently. But we do see that fensad are close to 20s. So, Psycho taking a lot. We do see they get taunted under their own tower, but we'll be able to get stunned and flip. They get stunned. We see Fangs goes out once again with Light Bomb on them. Tongue coming out onto the Shovel, and Shovel gets to go home to safety. But with how everyone's standing, there may be a chance to Samurai to get over here. If Samurai went here immediately, they got it. But unfortunately, Samurai did start on that right one, expecting Tahaka to be left. There may have just been a little bit late of a call saying, hey, Tahaka tongue down, we can get that objective. If it was, it may have been an extra free shots here, but no, not this time. Pool coming out, we do see Taunt in one spot here. Grismore taking a lot, backing out to safety. While Charlemagne and Grismore damaging from bottom, we can see the Calamity going in. We do see the kill going down. Samurai doing a little Beyblade spin, letting it rip. But now that's 2 kills for fensad. And this is actually the time... Oh, Eric Elric just has a little bit too much move speed for Psycho to combo. They do have that pull move speed. And this is the time you do boss. There is no... What's the word I'm looking for? There's nobody to stop you. We do see Grismore... Oh my gosh. I'm just going to put that there and just let it speak for itself. Unfortunately, they did trade boss for bottom 4, which is less than ideal. But they do have 20s, they do have boss now. They actually basically evened up the game after being behind for so long. So in terms of talents, we do see that not isolation, not adaptation. Contagion on the Dahaka. We do then see the Hellgate Diablos a little bit extra of the combo situation. So while that siege is happening top, we do have this happening bottom camp. Which, don't know about the Beyblade there, the Samurai Storm Spin thingy-majig there. I play the hero. Yeah, interesting. But we do also see that is the Amani Resilience picked up by Zul'jin, and the other people, we do see Oriole still deciding. I'm personally a fan of the activatable shield talent here, but that's not to everyone's liking. And that is a taunt coming out. That's a lot of damage onto Psycho. Psycho still alive, however, barely pops the soul shield. There's the ley line. And Medivh goes down. That's not what you want. Psycho seeing if they can hold on. Nice stun, nice Crystal Aegis, and just like that, they get to live. Now, I guess you just siege this. Get your Li Ming to go infinite power. Just go Arcane, Archon. Yeah, and just bzz, bzz. What number is that? 3? Right. Also, fun fact for observing: if you are if you're selected on a hero, you'll hear that hero. The voice lines that hero has selected for the announcer, but that'll be the game and the series going over the side of fensad. GG's, well played, especially into that interesting composition that LTK Live and Let Die were running. So let me throw it on over to the game summary screen. In terms of stats, Tahaka and Samurai did very similar siege and very similar soak. Not too much difference between the two. They're both getting pretty close. In terms of damage, Zul'jin once again absolutely popping off. The Li Ming only 1k behind, oh, almost 2, but 1.5k behind, let's say, for rounding's sake. Urid actually had 44k Medivh. That's very impressive. Barely being outside for 43. In terms of healing, Oriole did excellent. Robot Wizard absolutely doing wonders here. And Anduin, very good pulls. Just unfortunately that late game started to fall apart for the team. And only so much that pull can do. In terms of talents, anything that stands out here, not taking Lightning Breath of Diablo W build always interesting. And interesting, we see debilitating flames. Often you do see the triple slam talent at 16, just because it does give that cooldown reduction with the eternal flames. Because overpower does give a reset immediately. Just E W E W E W, or I guess you can W Q, throw in another W and Q there somewhere, and like another W, and you've probably got a good combo. No, this all makes sense. Interesting to see Diamond Resolve. Not often that one is picked. It is probably one of the rarer talents, to say the least. That is not often what I see picked. It's not often what you see picked in general. So my question is now, I feel like doing another one. And I feel like we're going to go to... I don't think I've done Div A yet. Ekdai, have I done Div A? I don't actually need an answer for you. I'm just more asking out of curiosity. Yeah, let's make it for 1 minute ago, shall we? We're going to do Pitches, Perilous Pigeons vs. Cool Cats and Kittens next. So let me jump on over to the map view screen. Thank you for answering anyway. I did not expect it. So that was a 2-0 to fensad. Well played, teams. Very good there. Actually, both teams did very well. There was a lot of Towers of Doom there that I clicked winner. Okay, there we go. 2-0 to fensad. I do like the team a lot. There's some very good people in there. I'm acquaintances with a couple of them, so I may have a little bit of bias into who I cast, who I don't. Similar to this one, I do know some people in both these teams coming up. So that was me for series... I've got hiccups. The first series I'm casting this evening, which I still have time for another because I get a tiny bit of a sleep in tomorrow. A tiny bit, saying that at most. Just because I do still have things. I still have to leave pretty early tomorrow for going places. So we will have Pitches, Perilous Pigeons and Cool Cats and Kittens coming up next. So I've been your host for at least for this map. All I'm going to do is I'm going to put myself in break, run a quick ad, get things changed over, refill up my drink bottle maybe, but you'll catch me on the other side of this, so stay tuned for more. It was a good first series. Let's hope the second one is a good one as well.